I wanted to talk about this Josue Vargas and versus Vargas-Zepeda fight. Um, I don't really watch boxing. You know, I watched these young fellas because the hype around it. It was just like Josue Vargas is known as very talented, but then very cocky and very he thinks he's better than a lot of these fighters, and he walked with that energy into this. He walked into this fight with that energy, and I think they had two press conferences where, in both press conferences, he disrespected the shit out of Jose Cepeda. So, in one of them being that he was repping his flag, and Jose Cepeda. I'm gonna just stop saying the first name because they both have kind of like the same name, almost. But Cepeda wanted to rep his own flag, so he kind of got in front of him a little bit, and Vargas was quick to just just yank it off of him, and they just started like wanting to fight each other and shit. And that happens at press conferences or whatnot. But then the second one I think came, and this guy is just Cepeda was just there, just looking his opponent in the eye and all that. I think this is a weigh-in, if I'm not mistaken. And Vargas is just all up in his face, like, yeah, you know who I am, this and the third. You know what's gonna happen to you. I'm gonna knock your ass out. This and the third. Something he was pointing at his back. He was like, you know what's in my bag? This and the third. That belt was gonna be my belt. He grabbed his belt and he started posing with his belt. And shit talking happens. You feel me? That's it's common in sports, point blank. It's specifically in the sport of boxing and MMA and stuff like that. And it is normalized. It's in the world of sports. It's what you do when you want to get into an opponent's head. But the thing is, the way in which you do so is what matters. You for example, the way Vargas was doing it, you can tell that he's doing it in the way he's doing it in order to show the audience that he's doing so, that he's talking shit. Because I can look at you, if me and you are fighting right now, I can look at you, and if I wanted to get into your head, I would tell you very briefly the things that I feel like would get under your skin. Not everybody has to know. My trainers don't have to know. My coach doesn't have to know. I could tell you that in your ear without letting the cameras read lips or letting any kind of exposure of, oh, look, he just spoke shit to him. I could tell you very, in very discreet ways, little personal shit about you that maybe could get under your skin. But the fact that he was doing so very loudmouth-like, let Zepeda know exactly where this guy was heading and what he was all about. It was just that he was doing all these gestures like, yeah, you know who the fuck I am? Like, yeah, nigga, like, watch what's on my back. Like, yeah, it's over for you, kid. Like, this and the third, like, you not gonna do nothing. This belt was gonna be mine. Like, all that extra shit, bro. I would look at him the same way and be like, bro, I'm about to knock your ass out. Like, I can't wait to get this easy bread. As opposed to just being like, yo, looking at each other's in the eyes, very briefly telling you something that will get under your skin, and very low, not doing all this commotion and acting and fucking moving around and this and the third. Showboating for what? To get knocked out 2 minutes into the fight in the first round. Wobbly legs. You feel me? And it's like he After the fight, I went on his Instagram and I seen this thing. I might fuck around, and post it right here. But I seen this post he shared, like somebody else posted it, and then like he just put it up on his story. And it said, talking shit is normal in sport, period, not just boxing. I strongly believe that you can beat someone by getting in their head. It's a tactic that most athletes use. The only thing is Zepeda had clean chin shot. Vargas never once said he was a bad fighter or didn't voice it. He acknowledged this would be his toughest fight. He had to talk shit, whether it's sports or in the streets. Who knows what would have happened if the fight had lasted? My bro is 23 years old and accomplished more than most people ever will. In his comments, this is just the beginning. I like how motherfuckers like to, number one, dick suck, because I don't know who that man is. It's like, you're not Vargas, bro. Why are you talking for Vargas? Maybe just a big fan, though. Let's leave it off for that. But I like how people like to be like, they like to, when they're in a down moment, like to bring down other people that they know for sure, or not for sure, but they have a kind of a good idea that they're in a bad spot in their life, and bring them down so like they could like have some type of like a flow, so they could stay afloat at least a little longer. I like my bro is 23 years old and has accomplished a lot more than people have in their comments. Bro, why would you share that? Like, it says a lot. It just goes to show how cocky you are about yourself. And it's one thing to be, full, like to be very confident about yourself. That's one thing. People very, very often mistaken being confident about yourself and being cocky. There's two different. There's a difference between the two. But it's funny to me. It's just hilarious to me. And it was very enjoyable. It was entertainment for sure. Even though it lasted 2 minutes, we found it very entertaining. Because number one, the trash talking didn't work. The tactic of getting into the opponent's head did not work. And yeah, I mean, yeah, he's 23. Congrats to him for being 23 in the position that he's in and making it that far. Most strongly agree that there's a lot of people in the comment section just hating and looking to bring down that person's character. Definitely agree with that. But we all know that. And for you to acknowledge that and shed more light to that, it kind of says something about you. But that's besides the point. it just goes to show what I was talking about earlier. There's people, I think he's from New York City. At one point, I think I followed him on Instagram way before, like 3 years ago, when he was starting to make like noise and shit like that. But even then, I realized it looked to me, I didn't know, but it looked to me that he was just too full of himself. I was like, I gotta unfollow this person. It's just, I can't follow somebody like that. And a lot of people can attribute to that from here. A lot of people that follow him before. And all the dick suckers that don't know the nigga, they just know that he from New York. They like to dick ride. That's what happens to a lot of people. They like to dick ride a lot of people just because they're from the same neighborhood and shit. You don't know the person. You may not know the person, bro, at all. Not even personally or nothing like that. But you just assume that the person's doing a good job because they're in the stage in their life that they're in. And hey, let me just try to get close to this person and try to like see if maybe they consider me a friend in the future. And then in the future, I could just say that this person is my friend. Yeah, it's the amount of people that I follow on Instagram that were just either making fun of him or just trying to bring his head up is ridiculous. But it's not gonna change. I feel like based on that post that I just shared, or that I just shared with you guys, uh, I feel like it's just gonna be the same cockiness. Um, but at least we all got to witness that you should always be humble. And if you're not humble, you're gonna get humbled.